Good afternoon. My article over the weekend was China strikes at Trump. But before I start with that, let me share with you this photograph from Biarritz. G7 leaders discuss global economics and trade. That was via Getty Images. And then Hervé tweeted me yesterday afternoon, I don't remember a week when the world fed you, with so many headlines starting with the Fed as the enemy, to Carney's Lèse-Majesté, to Zarif's Villégiature in Biarritz. So my article is China strikes at Trump. It's Friday evening in Asia. It's the weekend. The timing of this news smack toward the open in America, tweeted David Inglis. The precise timing of the news that China planned retaliatory tariffs on $75 billion of US goods was deliberate and designed to roil US markets. China pronounced that it had reinstated tariffs on cars and car parts originating in the US and imposed an extra 5% tariff on soybeans and a 5% tariff on US crude oil imports from September the 1st. The Chinese have less to work with. They export more than they import, which is the crux of the matter for Trump. What is also clear is that China has been very precise and taking aim at the farm and oil economy in particular, and it's designed to strike at Trump's soft underbelly. Hu Jin, who occupies a unique position in China's messaging machine and curates China Inc.'s position in real time, tweeted, China has lost the US already. All-round high tariffs, Huawei ban, political hostility, Hong Kong, Taiwan. We're facing a completely different United States. We have nothing more to lose, while the US is just starting to lose China. Of course, the level of Chinese retaliation was the message, and of the ilk of the form of the shoe thrower in Iraq all those years ago. Ivan the K put it pithily and tweeted, China to the chosen one, GFY. The Chinese renminbi has now depreciated 10% over 12 months and is being used as a shock absorber and a very precise first responder to Trump. President Trump, who had said previously trade wars are good and easy to win, and only on Wednesday said, I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. I'm taking on China on trade, and you know what? We're winning. Of course, I am the chosen one became a meme in the blink of an eye and played to Trump's evangelical base, which pays a great deal of attention to the book of Revelations. I am the Alpha and the Omega, says the Lord God, who is and who was and who is to come, the Almighty. President Trump responded overnight. Trump said existing 25% tariffs on some $250 billion in imports from China would rise to 30% on October the 1st, the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. Additionally, the remaining $300 billion of goods and products from China that was being taxed from September 1st to 10% will now be taxed at 15%. Thank you for your attention for this matter, he tweeted. Further, President Trump threatened to use emergency authority to order US businesses to cut ties in China Trump called the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell an enemy bigger than Z. Trump's newly minted Defense Minister Esper told Fox that the testing of previously banned ground-launched intermediate-range missile and releasing the video of it was meant to deter Chinese bad behavior. This is now a rupture, plain and simple. Safe havens, which were already in nosebleed territory, gold, yen, the Swiss franc, sovereign bonds, and priced for Armageddon or an apocalypse now, rallied on the news. The stock markets fell sharply. The overarching question investors need to ask themselves is this a permanent rupture? Or is this a crazy off-the-charts escalation just before a deal? The markets pirouette on the answer to this question. The president of the African Development Bank spoke to the negative feedback loop phenomenon and told Reuters the US-China trade war and uncertainty over Brexit pose risks to Africa's economic prospects that are increasing by the day. You have Brexit, you also have the recent challenges between Pakistan and India that have flared off there. Plus you have the trade war between the United States and China. All these things can combine to slow global growth with implications for African countries. I think the trade war has significantly impacted economic growth prospects in China, and therefore import demand from China has fallen significantly. For products and raw materials from Africa will only fall even further. It will also have another effect with regard to China's own outward bound investments on the continent. So there are opportunities for Africa in this rupture, and next week I'll look more closely at what those opportunities might be. This is the dollar versus the renminbi chart from Sun Charters. The dollar's at the highest since February 2008. Trade wars are good and easy to win, Trump has said previously. A little clip from Apocalypse Now to confirm what I was saying, that safe havens, I said this the previous week, are priced for Armageddon now. So overall, take your pick. Thank you.